Baltimore needs a voice. The city needs a leader with the ambition and the tutelage of the Betty Harveys, the Ray Cooks, of the Norman Yanceys, and the Charles Duggars of the world. A leader with the knowledge of the conditions in our underfunded, undermined communities and school systems. We need someone who's willing to push every bit of effort in them to see that these children's resources and choices aren't as limited as they currently are. Baltimore's biggest challenge is that lawmakers and elected officials have no idea how some of their decisions affect us. And by us, I mean you and I. I would hope that that's the reality, because the only other conclusion that I can draw is that they simply don't care. Sweeping a neighborhood to meet a quota is not more important than the lives that such actions affect. Bottom line, our issues revolve around the policies that date back to the 1970s and 80s. Things like Reaganomics, inequality, and lack of access. It's to be known that these things still affect us today. These issues still matter to us, but we are stable in the eyes of politicians, as if they have no regard for the future. For example, Governor Larry Hogan, he boasts about his decision to dedicate the most money to schools in the state's history. But at the same time, the city of Baltimore will still see less than usual. The only change that's visibly being made is the effort to push our communities to the counties, as if that's an effective solution. They are pricing us out of our communities. Instead of taking the time to hear the views and opinions of people who are directly impacted by these decisions, they give the impression that we aren't in the position to have an opinion. So is it a surprise that we live lawless? Who would respect a law that doesn't have any regard for them? Does this excuse the rebellious nature of these folks? No. But after living disregarded in these conditions for so long, is the rebellious nature that they've grown accustomed to a surprise? Does a child who doesn't want to go to school strike you as ignorant, even after we've seen so many underfunded, overcrowded, and eventually closed schools? Does the recidivism rate in a community full of convicts alarm you, considering the lack of good employment opportunities for these guys after they're hit with the stigma? Does that not raise red flags as to why the crime rate is so high? I'm an eyewitness. I am also a statistic, but more importantly, I'm an advocate. I worked on the Stop the Youth Jail Alliance in 2013, which was a success. We campaigned to push legislation in 2014 to change how youth are treated in the adult criminal justice system that was amended into a simple task force. In 2015, we pushed the same legislation, and guess what? It was a success. To address these issues, you must know how specific policies affect specific communities, how to connect with these communities and earn their support, how to construct bills and get them passed by the legislature. As a leader, I do my part in continuing to educate the communities on these issues, as well as recruiting other youth who are built to play on this political field. Together, we can push for the advancement of our youth, our society, and our nation. But first, we need you. If this speech is catching your ears, it isn't a mistake. We need everyone who has the interest in the advancement of our youth to come together, stand up, and fight. All we need is the people. More people. Great, strong, powerful, dedicated people. who can assist us in any way in our effort to reshape our youth, which will in turn reshape our future and our society. Thank you.